Good morning, everyone. We will now begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama to protect and bless us as we participate today in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku Prayer, please stand. Takahara ni kamuzumarimasu. Kamuragi kamurami no mikoto mochite sumemi oya kamu izanagi no mikoto tsukushi no imuka no tachi hana no odo no ahagi hara ni misogi hara itamo udoki ni narimaseru harai dono kami tachi moro moro no magagoto tsumikegare o harai tamae kiyome tamae tomao sukoto no yoshiro amatsu kami kunitsu kami yao yorozu no kami tachi tomo ni ame no fuji koma no mimi furitatete hikoshi meseto kashikomi mo maosu Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hae tamae Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hae tamae Oshie mi oya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hae tamae Oshie mi oya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hae tamae Kom nagara tamachi haemase. Kom nagara tamachi haemase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life,
in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan, and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified, as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us, radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become the instruments of your great plan.
please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei.
May God and Meishu-sama bless you.
Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. The right choice. I have no desire to become a great hero, glorified by the entire world. I only wish to be loved by others. The sorrows and joys we experience in our lives are created by our own hands. Although I work toward great goals, I am careful not to ignore or neglect the little things in life. Any act of wrongdoing results in a negative repercussion. This unquestionable fact is called the law of cause and effect, and it is a spiritual truth. A human being can never attain good fortune and prosperity except by way of goodness. Suffering is given to us for some reason, the consequence of spiritual clouds accumulated as a result of this law. The only possible way to alleviate suffering is asking God to remove our spiritual clouds. These clouds can be eliminated by God's divine light through Johrei, which purges the clouds, the root of our suffering. Our spiritual clouds can be removed in great or small amounts, depending on the strength of our faith and the degree of our virtue. Those formed by our negative thoughts and words can be alleviated for the most part through if we pray to God daily. But this may not be enough. Spiritual clouds formed by our negative actions cannot be removed through prayer alone. It is essential that we accumulate good deeds and strive to bring happiness and joy to others. Just praying to God does not bring us true salvation.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the Miroku Association headquarters morning service. This morning, I want to share with you the faith experience of Miguel dos Santos Matos from Barra Mansa, Rio de Janeiro. Miguel is 11 years old and has been receiving Johrei since he was conceived. As he has the child locket, the shoko, he channels Johrei to his family members. Gives service cleaning the Johrei Center on Saturdays. He's the MC in daily services when requested, and he always tries to be alert and helpful to those around him. His most recent experience with Johrei was on the day of the September this year appreciation service dedicated to the beauty column of salvation. The week before the service, when he and his mother gave service at the church, they made a schedule for them and his grandmother's participation in the monthly service. With COVID-19's health security measures, attendance had to be arranged in advance. On the day of the monthly service, he woke up with a strong purification. He had abdominal pain and began vomiting. Due to this fact, they attended the monthly service over the internet, and during the broadcast, both his mother and grandmother channeled Johrei to him. At first, his pain was intense, and he was looking pale. By the end of the service, he no longer felt any discomfort. Another great blessing he received was the birth of his little brother on September 27th. His mother is taking care and nursing the baby right now. In this way, Miguel continued his dedication at home, being able to channel Johrei to the family and help his mother. He's thankful to God, Meishu-sama, and his ancestors for the permission to serve in the construction of paradise in their home through the sacred Johrei and dedications. His commitment is to continue to give service as a youth member and to be an instrument so that more children and young people can bring the light of God and guide the greatest number of people to the divine work. Very nice experience from Miguel, only 11 years old. Another experience I want to share with you
This one is from Maria Amélia Halo Santa Torres Carneiro. She's from the Amarante Johrei group, Portugal. Maria Amélia has been a member for 9 years, and she gives service at the Amarante Johrei group, as I mentioned, about 6 years ago. She suffered a violent fall, and consequently, she had to undergo surgery, with screws being placed to support her spine. Since then, this purification had been very strong, as she had constant and a lot of back pain day and night. She began having a lot of difficulties in walking, felt constant tiredness without the strength for anything, nor the desire to leave her house. Her husband very kindly had to take charge of their home at that time, but she realized after a while that it was too much for him. She loves cooking and taking care of her home so much. It was with great sadness that she had to decide to hire a maid to carry out the necessary tasks. This back problem persists to this day. The pain on the right side has always been persistent, which also prevents her from sleeping normally. Her desperation has been such that over the years she has had many medical treatments, some of them quite expensive, many types of medication, physiotherapy, etc. The pain and tardiness momentarily eased, and then everything would come back again. Moreover, she has other problems, other health problems, such as scleroderma, which are wounds on the skin, fingers, toes, which make the difficulties in carrying out household chores. As the years went by and the situation didn't improve, she really lost strength and motivation and ended up physically moving away from the Jory activities for a few years. However, she always remained connected to Meishu-sama. Since last year, she has already gradually returned in participating in some dedications, but at great cost. In February, she participated in the ancestor service, which was combined with the service for the remodeling of their headquarters in Portugal. On that occasion, she felt quite emotional and suddenly sprouted in her desire to do something to make it happen. Thus, she decided that she would offer a fixed amount every month, in addition to tithing and other gratitude donations she makes regularly. At the time, she was still in a certain fear, a fear that money could be short, but her will was superior to her fear, and she ended up deciding with conviction. As incredible as it may seem, since that day she feels a huge happiness inside her. She feels no pain, and as if there is no disease in her. This miracle is incredible because her condition was not one of having momentary pain, but chronic pain that she has had for 6 long years. Yet, the biggest proof she had was a change in her feelings since the quarantine began. Because of the pandemic, she had no more need for the housekeeper, who now just helps with the shopping and leaves Maria Amelia's bags at the door. That's when her real test began. She naturally had to take over the housework many years later, and in fact, to her amazement, it has demanded on her absolutely nothing. She does everything at home, such as cooking, tidying up, cleaning, ironing, etc. She even started sharing photos of her cooking on the Amarante Jorei's WhatsApp group, and every group member was amazed. She gets up around 5 a.m., only stops around 4 p.m., and her energy remains the same. Since they were all in confinement, she has also started to read more teachings of Meishu-sama, to say more prayers, and she follows with great happiness all the online daily and monthly services from their headquarters, as well as she participates in all the meetings with the members of the Johrei group by video conference. She clearly feels that she had a lot of protection from God and Meishu-sama, because if she hadn't made the decision to make that extra donation effort towards the renovation of their headquarters in this quarantine period, in the state she was in, having still many pains, she doesn't really know what it would be like. She's so grateful to God and Meishu-sama for this blessing received. Something that she was really able to confirm with this experience is that our commitment to the construction fund immediately cleanses our spiritual clouds. That's exactly how she felt. She prays that God and Meishu-sama is always with her and that her ancestors also feel happy. Thank you very much for attending this morning service and listening to these inspiring faith experiences. Wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much.
This brings to a conclusion of our morning service. Thank you everyone for joining us and have a blessed day.